Hello, dear brother. Critical hit first, then determination, then direct hit. That's what I thought. Crit. Determination. It literally is in the exact order that I needed it in, but I don't have whatever these are. Oh well. I know, I knew I was muted. You think I don't know what I'm doing? Ha! Yeah, all right. Proof or it didn't happen. By the way, I did get your texts, so I didn't watch the whole. I didn't watch either of the videos because I wanted to watch them on stream, and I still haven't done that. How are you doing? What is this locked box? What is this locked box that you speak of? People once used to fear me. I don't need the filter on right now. There's nothing happening, so we're good. No one knew who I was until I put on the mask. Saw Dad today and grilled some food. Nice, dude. Yeah, I had a full day myself. I don't think I've moved so much in my life. I did my cardio workout this morning, and then I went to Walmart to refill one of my water jugs. I bought the Lord of the Rings Sextilogy? All 6 movies for $20. DVD, by the way, which is fine. And a new pocket Bible. And then I came home, I did my laundry. Did my laundry, and then play a little bit of 12 to do some leveling, but then I wanted to go to the liquor store, get another bottle of whiskey. I'll actually show that to you in just a little bit. I think it's a very pretty bottle, 15-year age, one that I haven't tried yet, which is nice. And then I had the game. The kids did very well today. They have drastically improved over the course of the season, which I love. They are getting the hang of things. Got to see some hot moms, so there's that. Because I think they were hot. By the way, forget soccer moms. Baseball moms are where it's at, bro. And then I spent some time at the park for about an hour or so. And then walked down to the local Stewart's. Got a couple this time, okay? a couple of voodoos, the tall boys. I didn't get a whole 6 or 12 pack like last weekend. I think I'm gonna not overdo it this time. And pretty much all I've eaten today is some Gouda cheese. I just had it like I don't know, half an hour ago or something like that. Yogurt, oatmeal, coffee and orange juice, and then a bunch of water. I haven't really had any food. I'm waiting until a pork chop thaws out, and then I'll probably bring you guys into the kitchen to make it or something. Oh, this tank is all about, leave me alone. I don't deserve your attention. I was deciding whether or not I wanted to play this or Battlefield 6. I played a little Battlefield earlier, and it was just instantaneous, just annoyance and anger. Even though I was like not doing terrible, and we won the round, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I want to be like that on stream. And Final Fantasy in general, not even just 14, but Final Fantasy in general has really just been fantastic for me. I absolutely have enjoyed my time playing Final Fantasy anything lately. Probably should cast that first. So I have had plenty of time outside because it's such a it's a literally gorgeous day. It's like 61, but the sun is out and the wind is blowing. It definitely made it colder outside every time the wind blew, but I've never had a more perfect day. I was a little annoyed because I went to the park and those stupid little, I looked them up. I didn't know what the fuck these things were, but these little clover mites are like really tiny and they're red, and you could literally kill them with a swipe of your hand, and they just stain your hand with whatever it is, their blood. I don't know. And it's frustrating because they're always on my favorite bench, and I moved to another bench and they were still on that. And that bench wasn't really even real wood. So it's very frustrating, to say the least. But I had a relatively peaceful time at the park. And then I walked down to Stewart's to get the voodoo and an ice cream. Okay, I got a little bit of an ice cream. Oh, I forgot. I did my cardio workout in the morning. I woke up, laid in bed for about an hour or so my brain could wake up. Did my cardio, did my laundry, played some 12 while I did the laundry to level up a little bit, and then at about 1:30 I did my weightlifting. I did some weightlifting because I'm just like, I gave myself 4 days a week to work out. But then I'm like, why? And usually it'd be Monday, Tuesday workout, Wednesday is a rest day, Thursday, Friday. Though, to be fair, Friday during the spring, summer is, and even fall. Well, no, I would say spring and summer is my time to go to the park if the weather's nice. Oh, this tank is ballsy, bro. He's just like, this healer's got me, right? And then the winter time, I'm going back to bowling, so that'll be my Fridays. But normally I do 4 days a week. And then I'm just like, I'm just so exhausted. You know, if I do like Monday through Thursday, so like 4 days in a row, it's not great. But I really enjoy the idea of doing Saturdays because I'm like, you know, I don't mind waking up and doing the cardio because I feel really good after I do it. You know, I wake up, I let my brain set up for an hour, and then I do the cardio, and I feel really good. And then later in the afternoon, I do the weightlifting, and that's a double session on Saturday. So if I do 2 days out of the week and then do a double session on Saturday, I basically nailed the relatively 4 days worth of working out that I've set out to do. As long as I work out 4 times a week, that's all that matters. Well, yeah, I mean, I've tried to be more productive, like doing this. I love entertaining you guys. Obviously, Chris, you know me. For years I've been all about, you know, making people's days better, even if it's just for a couple hours. And lately I've been feeling like I need to be doing something else with my life. And that, to me, for me, that means doing something other than this. Like, this is productive in its own way, but I played literally one match of Battlefield 6 earlier, and I was like, okay, I'm over this. Like, it's not Battlefield itself. It's just I did not feel like playing video games. I was really just kind of turned off by it. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the liquor store and get more whiskey. Like I said, I'll show that bottle to you guys after this run. But I've been really feeling very unproductive with just doing, you know, videos and stuff. So I just decided I was like, I need to go out. I need to have some sort of meaningful life. And I even thought about this afternoon or this evening. Bowling is life. Possibly going out for a nice dinner at one of my favorite Asian restaurants. And then I remembered I had a pork chop that I was thawing out in the sink. And I'm like, well, I don't want to waste that. Not that it would go bad, like if I just left it for tomorrow or something, but now I'm doing this and I'm like, well, probably just gonna use that pork chop for something, pork chop and eggs. I've got a steak that I thawed out for tomorrow. Oh my god, the tank is he's ambitious. And he's lucky that the healer is keeping him alive barely. But I was thinking about I really meant to visit Dad last weekend because there was a Yankee game on and I would have liked to spend some time with him watching the game. But I hope he's doing okay. I haven't heard from him, so. No, I didn't want to greed on it, dude. Pass. I'm glad that I can actually pass on that. Alright, that's awesome. I actually never done that before. You can actually just pass on it. Nice. Hey, I'm top DPS. Nice. Against a ninja. And no, not the blue-haired ninja. Forgot to renew my debuffs. Boosh. Super easy, super easy. We give it to the healer because they were pretty awesome. Kept the fucking tank alive, that's for sure. Barely, but did it. Tank pulled a lot, so God, I need a gorgeous Asian woman to just come and give me a fucking massage, dude. Anybody knows any like beautiful Asian women that aren't taken? Let me go get the bottle of whiskey. I'll show you guys. It's called the Dimple Pinch since 1893. 15-year aged. This thing was like maybe $43, which is not terrible actually for 15 years. It's a much darker as it should be. Most longer aged whiskeys tend to darken over time. Sad part is it doesn't tell me what notes I'm to expect, but it's imported from Scotland. I really like the fact that like a lot of scotches and a lot of whiskeys will tell you what notes to kind of, you know, look for in terms of the smell, in terms of the taste, but this one is just straight up just doesn't tell you anything. But they've been around since 1893, though it says the rich and smooth aroma of Dimple Pinch, celebrating more than 350 years of unbroken Scotch whiskey tradition. I've not opened it yet because I'm not done with my previous decanter of whiskey, so which is a 12-year. You guys know me, I love the 12 years, but like to get a 15-year for only $43, that's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. That's a steal. Steal. 14 minutes to wait for... If you're wondering what I'm doing here in Old Charlayan, it's simply the fact that it's the next spot for the next set of gear, and so I'm gonna work on getting 2,000 tomestones, and then I'll buy the next set of gear, which is level 90 gear, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. I'm pretty sure it's 90. Yeah, so I would like to actually, you know, if I'm gonna do these like 10 level incremental increases in gear, I was like, oh, I'm gonna put some materia in the slots. There's no like free company chest here. So I had to go back to my free company chest in like Limsa Lumensa and do that. And then I was like, oh wait, there's a materia seller here, and I can't buy them because it's a like there's an item you have to get, and I'm not sure how to get it. Whatever this is, cracked dendro cluster. Let me check that. Let's see. Open this up. So acquisition is daily roulette leveling or alliance raid. That's it? Did I get any? Because clearly I didn't get any, and I just did a daily... Oh, daily leveling, not high level. Specifically this one. Are we high? I don't think so. I don't think so. I just don't really feel like going all the way back, but oh well. I might have to. What is this one? Dude, I can... Oh my god. I could feel it. It's so aggravating. Old Charlayan Aetheryte. But what is it called? Just Old Charlayan. So where is that? On here. I literally looked through the whole thing. Oh, there it is. It's in this fucking list. Okay. Let's go back to Limsa Lumensa. And get some materia. So, Chris, I'm trying to remember his name. He's actually a pretty well-known fitness influencer, but he's more on the scientific side of things, where he's kind of he takes a scientific approach, and you know, apparently he's a published researcher. I didn't realize that. And he was talking about a new study, and it's a pretty extensive study, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's kind of wild how many people they had in this group do this experiment. But Jeremy Ethier, or Ethier, he did a video literally on the one thing that I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of is my stomach fat, right? And I didn't realize this, but basically the easiest way to do it is you do cardio, right? And then immediately after your cardio, you do sets of ab workouts. My ab workouts of choice were plank, and then I don't know what it's called, but you lift your legs up in the air, not all the way up, but you bend at the knee, you lift your legs up, and then you lift your tailbone off the ground. That works your lower abdomen, and then you do regular crunches for your upper abdomen. Obviously the planks work more the obliques and stuff like that. And he says, according to the study, I didn't watch the whole video, but according to the study, this, because your cardio basically gets the blood flowing and stuff like that, doing the ab workout targets the fat around the abdomen. Oh, that was not even 14 minutes. Nice. Like I said, I don't claim to understand the science, but that's essentially what he said. Or at least he gave a pretty good idea as to, you know... Oh, fuck off, dude. Essentially the idea. It's a simplistic way of looking at it, but basically because your cardio it's already got the blood flowing and stuff like that, doing the ab workout tells your body to target that area, and then it should essentially burn the fat, because that's essentially what happens with, like, say, you know, weightlifting. When you lift the weights, the muscles are activated and they take in the energy around them, which is the fat, and they use that for energy. Which is why when you start to lose weight, I guess you start losing body fat around your arms, around your face, you know, so on and so forth. So I started that today, and I'm going to keep doing it until I see if maybe I get any results. I'm still trying to make sure that I watch what I eat, but today is a little bit, you know, obviously the beer's not going to help. But I'm having the one. There you go. I've got the other one. I'll probably have that tomorrow. And keep in mind, guys, I want to do a stream tomorrow where we try to attempt to fix that one joystick that was drifting, so that maybe, you know, we could use it as a backup in case the new sticks go out. But so I'm gonna see what happens here tomorrow. I also want to do meal prep, a meal prep that I should have been doing this whole time, which is another test that he did, another scientific test where the only fat that you got was a tablespoon of olive oil. The meal consists of... I'm gonna turn this down. I'm fucking yelling. The meal consists of chicken breasts, seasoned however you want, because seasoning doesn't have any calories. Believe it or not, spices don't have calories, obviously. Like potatoes, however I want. I'm gonna make them mashed potatoes. Potatoes, carrots, and broccoli. Now, the downside to that diet, and I'm only gonna do it for like the week or whatever, and I'm gonna have, since I do the OMAD diet, or I kind of just do it. I don't consider it my diet. I just fell into doing one meal in a day, and that's it. That's just all I usually eat. Weekends, I kind of give myself a little bit of leeway for yogurt and oatmeal and stuff like that. Have minor snacks here and there, but nothing too major. That's not what I wanted to do. I'll be making, like, I'll be meal prepping for my lunches throughout the week. And I figure I'll only do it for a week and see what happens. But I need to make sure that I only... that I do my some sort of ab workout, which I personally like planks. I think planks are the easiest to do. But as far as I know, they predominantly work your obliques. They don't work the entire abdomen. And see what the results are, because I've gotten down to 200 pounds before. I've done it. I've got it, literally a photo that I took, recorded. Oh, what? I ran away from it. What the fuck, bro? I don't know. I don't know this I don't know this raid. I really don't. I'm fucking I'm screwed, dude. I'm literally stuck for another 15 seconds. Oh, there goes my DPS. And the healers just got frozen. Fuck that guy. Alliance A. Oh, shit. So, there's... I mean, it's... When you think about it, or when you kind of listen to the science and stuff, I guess it sort of makes sense. You know, we've known for years that just crunches or just sit-ups or whatever, they don't actually get rid of the fat around your midsection, because they never really had what the hell? They never really had a way to activate the fat around the midsection. So to activate the blood flow, obviously you use cardio, and then you focus on the muscles, or the area where you want to burn the fat, I should say, not the muscles. Like, say, for example, if I did cardio and then I weightlifted for, you know, I don't know, half an hour or so afterwards, that, I guess, effectively should be able to burn more fat around my arms, if that's what I was going to be doing. So I assume this technique or this idea should be usable in pretty much any aspect of fat burning. If you want to target a specific area, you do cardio first and then you do the weightlifting, or you do the exercise targeting the area you want to lose the fat in. But I'm going to do it specifically for my stomach so that way I can see if maybe it works for me. I don't know. I will say that I'm having to fight through some wicked fatigue. Not because of anything I did, but I think it's fatigue probably centered around the fact that I'm turning 40, first and foremost, this year. So testosterone is just low. It's getting lower. Which is, again, I really should just get to the doctor and maybe have him check my T levels to see what they're at. If they're normal, then it's fine, but, like, I don't know if I'm going to go on TRT, because that might be a bit too extreme for something that's naturally supposed to happen. But I definitely want to at least check where they are to see if they are normal. If they're not normal, well, then I think I better get outside and start chopping some fucking wood, man. Apparently that helps with increasing testosterone, is just chopping wood. Like, just getting outside and chop a tree down or some shit. I'd be happy to fucking do that. That sounds like fun. You know, Dad doesn't chop wood anymore, so I can't really go home and chop wood for him. Unless he needs to make kindling, then yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Dude, we're just decimating things in this raid. This raid is going a lot faster than the one we did yesterday. Yesterday's raid took for fucking ever, bro. But I love all this information that these fitness YouTubers are able to provide to us, because I've been very curious about, you know, ever since I started watching what I eat and actually making food more for myself than anything. You know, it does kind of make you think about what it is that you're not supposed to be eating. And I've been saying it for years, like whole foods, or at least foods that are basically just natural ingredients, those are what we're supposed to be eating as a species. We've gone so far from that. I watched another video today of a guy talking about why is it that women in the 1950s were still they were so thin, they were able to maintain their physique, and that's simply because they had basic things in their kitchen like heavy cream, butter, eggs, bacon, you know, like stuff that's one ingredient. Whole milk. If you want to get milk, get whole milk. And I changed over to that like years ago. I don't have milk in the house because I don't really consume it that much, but I do use heavy cream. The bottom line is that years and years ago I said, enough with this nonsense, this bullshit 2% milk, whatever. I want whole milk because it's natural, because whole milk makes sense to me. And I was right. That was well before I even like watched this video, and well before I even, you know, understood that we were just being completely swindled into making ourselves fat, because that makes the medical system richer. Whole milk is, if you're gonna get milk, get whole milk. Enough of the, and no diet. Don't get anything diet. Enough with the diet shit. Diet makes you, like, diet will kill you. Diet stuff, fat-free stuff, that shit'll kill you. Because real fat-free, real diet, you know, stuff doesn't taste very good. So what do? They load it up with sugar. They load it up with sugar to make it taste, to make it edible. Because nobody actually wants to eat fat-free diet crap. Do I have to hit the thing or what? Like, do I have to run into it? Do I have to take a hit for the team? Nope, didn't think so. Eat a dick. Don't eat fat-free stuff. Don't eat diet stuff. It's really bad for you. Okay. I didn't notice anything. I didn't even notice the thing. The ice sculpture. That was dumb. I didn't notice the freaking stack of ice there. So, needless to say, being on my own has really enlightened me to the destruction of our species because of our species, if that makes any sense. These companies want to keep us fat and unhealthy so they can make a fucking profit. And it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. There's a reason that people were healthier back in the day because they didn't have this shit. Cereal was, if anything, cereal was basic. But for the most part, their breakfast consisted of like black coffee, maybe with some sugar in it, bacon, eggs, real bread, not this mass-produced shit. The mass-produced bread was only an invention of current times within the last maybe 30 years or so, 40 years I would say maybe. But in the 1950s, I don't think they had mass-produced bread. I could be wrong, you know, you can fact check me on that one if you want, but I don't think they had mass-produced pre-sliced bread. I think they made their own bread at home because everybody had an oven. And it was just something that was just normal, was people making their own food, bread included. And we've lost that because people want convenience over health, and they're willing to go to... Dude, I still can't believe after all the shit that we've seen over the years about Burger King and McDonald's and all the fast food chains that people are lined up. Every fucking day I go down the main street of Clifton Park, I just see people lined up for Burger King. That shit is poison in a bun, and people are still lining up to eat it. Why? Because they don't have to cook it. It's pathetic. And they absolutely deserve the disease and the fucking bad feeling they get because they're the ones who decided to consume it. They deserve every last bit that they get out of it. I will say the one good thing that Burger King had was an actual like chicken sandwich. They had a legitimately freshly fried chicken tender or chicken breast in a bun, and it was fantastic. I will give them that much, but it was the first real product they had on their fucking lineup. Other than that, they're straight garbage. They're straight hot garbage, and they're out to kill you. They want to keep you fat and unaware so that way you don't know what's really going on and you don't know what they're actually fucking giving you. They're feeding you poison so you'll stay in the fucking the medical system. You'll be a lifelong customer. Fuck that, dude. I refuse. And I know I keep bringing it up, but that's exactly why when my doctor said if you don't clear up your blood pressure, with, you know, whatever it is, like these possible methods. I didn't want to pass on that. Fuck, dude. Do I have that? I already have that. I set out to correct it because he said otherwise you're gonna be on pills. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing pills. Pills are just as bad. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so they want to keep you fat, happy, and stupid. I genuinely can't believe the shit that I've been seeing online where there's high school students in Philadelphia. High school! Fuck off, dude. Who can't read. I don't get it. Like, I understand, completely understand, if there's a word that I've definitely had this happen many times, no joke, many times. What the fuck is going on here? Is this always here? I completely understand, and it's happened to me many times where I've said a word out loud, but I've never seen it spelled. And I wouldn't recognize it for the life of me. So I totally get that. But at the same time, the majority of the sentence is words we use in our daily lives. Like the word gauche. I don't know a single person who uses that word these days. And so I can forgive these students for not knowing what it is or how it's spelled. But the rest of the sentence that they were asked to read are words that we use on a regular basis. I can't understand it. So obviously that has nothing to do with the food or whatever. I'm just saying, for the sake of saying, that, you know, as adults, they want to keep us fat, happy, and stupid. So that we don't really know what's going on. But I know. And you guys should know too. Just saying. Okay, we need direct hit rate. What is this, 8? There's 10. This is not in any order, and I used to have it sorted, but I mean, so much of this shit just... There's no sorting. I hate the fact that there's no sorting option in here. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why is there no sorting option in here? Anyway, let's pop open the normal raids. So I've been really trying to educate myself as much as possible on what it is that we're supposed to be eating, which that should just be a duh moment. Like, what do you think we're supposed to be eating? Normal food. This processed frozen shit, forget about it. Don't do that. Don't eat that stuff. You want some fried chicken, make it yourself. It's that easy. Get yourself a chicken breast, slice it into fucking slices. You know, you want some tenders or whatever, slice it into, you know, tender style. Hell, they even have pre-sliced chicken tenders. All you gotta do is bread them and then fry them up. And don't fry them in oil, in seed oil. Don't do that. After I'm done with the vegetable oil that I have, that's it. I'm not using vegetable oil anymore. I'm gonna get some beef tallow or some shit. I ain't doing it, dude. I ain't doing it. I will use beef tallow. Hell, I even saved the bacon fat from when I've, you know, fried bacon. It's a great thing to have. You fry that shit up, you save that fat because that fat can be used. We don't need seed oils. The only oil that you should have is olive oil. That's it. I even learned something new about that. Like some of the olive oils that you get off of in the grocery store have some drawbacks as well, which is crazy to me. That even olive oil, one of the most pure things on this planet, has some drawbacks. If it's been on the shelf, if it's not in a dark glass bottle, right? It's not a dark glass bottle, and it's been on the shelf for some time after it's, I guess you could call it the squeeze date. It's not good. Apparently, a good way to test this is if you take a shot of, you know, olive oil and it's not burning your throat, then it's not good. Which is such an odd thing to think, but apparently there's a certain type of mineral in olive oils that you can't really get anywhere else. And if it's not doing that to your throat, if it's not slightly making it burn like a pepper, like it's not like a peppery feeling, then it's not good. It's not a true olive oil. It's an old one. It's been sitting on the shelf too long, that sort of thing. I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, but I'll still be buying olive oil over vegetable oil any day. And none of this shortening stuff, Crisco and all this other stuff, don't do that either. Butter, man, butter. Butter's like one of the greatest products ever created by man. You can even make your own. You don't even have to actually buy butter in sliced bricks, if you will. You can literally just get a thing of heavy cream, put it in a mason jar, and shake it up. That's it. That's all it takes to make butter. Now, normally that would make whipped cream, but I guess if you shake it long enough, it creates butter, and then you also get buttermilk out of that. Because you're separating the solids from the liquids. The solid is the butter, and then the liquid is buttermilk. And then you can use that for whatever you want. So all you have to do is just buy heavy cream, which is crazy. I don't know which is cheaper though. I would probably say that if you buy butter pre-made, it's probably cheaper. But at least with the heavy cream, at least when you do it yourself, you know you're getting the purest form of butter. because heavy cream is literally just one ingredient. It's heavy cream. So, whereas in the pre-packed butter, you're getting butter, salt, and probably a ridiculous amount of salt, which I personally like, but for some people it may not be good. So you can add whatever amount of salt you want to your own butter, and you can even make compound butters, and you can still do that even with the pre-packed stuff. But if you make it yourself, you're starting with a blank slate. You know, you can make compound butters and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. There's just so many things that we've gone away from when it comes to food. People have forgotten. Women don't know how to cook, man. How? How do women not know how to fucking cook? How? I watched my mom growing up cooking all the time. And guess what? My dad was the one who taught her. According to him. What the fuck is this? And why is this in my... Wait, is my armory chest full? It is. Oh my god, it's full. Dude, I gotta stop switching classes. Everything's full. Also, what are these, dude? Like, we got some pretty cool looking stuff in here. I better turn them in. I might as well just turn them into, I don't remember wearing any of these. What the fuck, dude? Oh, that's the Ironworks. Okay, that I remember. But, like, all this other stuff? I gotta stop swapping classes. Pictomancer. I haven't played it yet. But I'm definitely gonna turn some of these into some glamours. Oh my god. I hate when my eyes itch. I think it might be fucking allergies, but I'm not sure. I guess I'm gonna have a pretty late meal because it's already 8:45, and the pork chop is almost thawed. But is it with Jiri? No. It's not with Jiri. Wait, don't I? No, I don't. Okay, here it is. Oh my god, dude. Take all those. I'll have to go to a like an inn. Oh my god, dude, I can't stand this. It's just itches. Ugh. Needless to say, my years of being on my own have really thrown my my mind into a world of how can I increase the longevity of my life because I'm alone. So obviously if I had like a girlfriend or a wife, might be a little bit easier because at least if I knew I got sick, somebody would be here to take care of me, and of course vice versa, but I don't, so I have to do right by myself. And it sucks. It really does. It sucks that I can't just randomly got that piece. It sucks that I can't, you know, have that somebody to rely on to be able to take care of me. Is that level 80? I honestly didn't realize that you would actually, like, it would just spill over into my... That it would just spill over into my, my regular inventory. That's fucking crazy. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't even... Alright. I have to go see if I can repair all this stuff. There we go. You know, it'd be great if I had somebody here to you know, help take care of me and also me take care of. Life would be a lot easier. But it is what it is. So I have to do it by myself, and in the process I've learned a lot about what we've done to ourselves, essentially. What kind of hell we've put ourselves through by making convenience the primary. We've essentially begun our own self-destruction because we all feel as though we have no time when we absolutely do. We just decided to not make time for the important things like cooking for ourselves. That we have ultimately begun our very slow destruction. And unless people actually open their brains and think for 2 fucking seconds that they should probably be doing a lot more things for themselves, like cooking, like getting up and moving, doing all this stuff. Like, I was on my feet for so long today. Obviously, I did my workout in the morning, then I did my workout in the early afternoon. Then I went to the kids baseball game where I'm active in it. I play catcher for our team. And then I went to the park afterwards. Still haven't eaten anything, by the way. I'm just trying to, you know, enjoy the time outside. My left leg, actually, and this is not a flex, but my left leg I started to feel it like cramping up, at least on the upper thigh. Luckily that didn't come to fruition, but that might be due to the fact that, like, while I was drinking water throughout the day, I wasn't completely hydrated. But the bottom line is that I've never, like, I'm on my feet at work for like 7 out of the 8 hours of my day, but I'm not at work today, so I definitely was on my feet for a lot longer than that, I would say, or at least in terms of the activity that I was doing. You know, doing my workouts and then going to a baseball game and then going to the park, which I walked to. I didn't drive to it because I'm in walking distance. And then I walked down to the Stewart's to get, you know, the couple of beers and the ice cream, so on and so forth. Like, I don't know if my legs knew what rest meant today. And now I've got this fucking cramp in my fucking shoulder and it's pissing me off, dude. It really, even now where I'm a little bit buzzed, I'm not drunk, okay? Keep that in mind. I know what I'm saying. but I'm a little bit buzzed. I can still feel it, and normally when I'm buzzed, a little bit of numbness sets in pretty much, and I'm usually really relaxed all over my body. I can still feel this fucking thing just jabbing me in the side, and it's really pissing me off. Oh, you fucking twat, dude. I'm stuck. I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. It ruined my combo. You fucking dick, dude. I just think as a society we need to wake up, man. We need to wake up to the travesties that these companies are imparting on us. But people are sheep, man. They're willing to just follow blindly, and that's not good, man. Look at what our state governments, our federal government, look at what the pharmaceutical companies, look at what everybody's doing. Look at what all these companies are doing to us. Wise up. Take back control of your lives. Stop being lazy. Make your own food. Even if it means making your own bread. It's not that hard. It's mostly just a lot of waiting. That's all it is. That's really all it is. It's bread. It's flour, water, salt. And if you want to make like a sourdough, you just let it sit out overnight. But for the most part, you can literally just, that's all you need to do. Just do that. And then you can use it immediately. Like if you want to make like a pizza or something like that, that's basically pizza dough. Is flour, water, salt. And then you just knead it until it's smooth. And then you can use it right away. And yeast. I mean, you can use, obviously you want the yeast. I think that's what scares people the most is the yeast part. But again, if you don't want to, like accidentally kill the yeast because you don't know what temperature the water is supposed to be at, you can literally just put flour, water, salt together, leave it in a bowl overnight under like a damp cloth, and the yeast will populate or procreate in your dough. It'll take it from the air and it'll just do it. So it's not that hard to make bread. It just takes time. I have yet to make my own, but I definitely plan on doing it because I think it's so much better. Especially since all it is those 3 ingredients plus yeast. Whereas, you know, store-bought bread is like, I mean, it's all chemicals. They throw chemicals back into it. Essentially, yes, Matthew. Yes. That's a good way to look at it. It will penetrate and then impregnate your dough. Now, of course, I've gone even deeper into flour and learned that the more popular flours like King Arthur and even your store-bought or store brand flours are not entirely healthy for you. Because most flours are made with 2 out of 3 of the properties, let's say, of the wheat removed. Because it's easier to work with 1/3 of the properties than it is to work with all of them. So yeah, 2/3 of the property of wheat removed and then reintroduced chemically, which is not good. And that's when I learned about einkorn flour, which is the type of flour that would have been used by our ancestors. The whole wheat germ, the wheat whatever, the whole thing is in there. And flour back in those days used to have, strangely enough, protein in it. Like protein in flour, in bread, which is why so many people were able to survive on bread and water alone. And if you were lucky, cheese. But so many people were able to survive on bread and water alone because the bread had essential minerals and nutrients that we needed, which is crazy to me. So I have a whole bag of King Arthur flour. This is before I found out about einkorn flour. And I was like debating on whether or not I should keep it or should I throw it out. But I'm not a wasteful person. I don't like wasting anything, to be honest, but which is why I've gone to the French press instead of K-cups and, you know, even pot coffee, which is still wasteful because you have the filter. And even that, I found out that like you and I have talked about, Matthew, only a certain percentage, a very small percentage of stuff is recycled. So it's like, why do I bother? If they're just going to throw most of it out, who fucking cares? So, needless to say, I've learned a lot, you know, being on my own. Even before I was on my own, I made it a point to start getting healthier because I didn't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife. So I don't have that other person to help take care of me if I get sick or something like that, or to, you know, steer me in the right direction. So I have to learn myself. Yeah, that's good, Matthew. That's good. Good pun. You punny little guy. Hopefully I get the right main scenario and I don't have to like go through. I just fight the ultimate machine and I don't really do anything else. But I genuinely think it might be based on wherever I am at the moment. And since I'm in Limsa Lominsa, I'll probably get the original main scenario quest. Yeah, but I still have yet to make my own bread. Because my fear, of course, is the yeast. I do have actual yeast in the cupboard. But now I'm wondering if I should just put the flour, water, and salt together and just kind of feel it out. That sort of thing, you know? Start with a... Hell, even like... If I throw, what was it, like flour, water, salt, and I suppose I could throw, I think, either a whole egg or an egg yolk. I can't remember, but I imagine like a whole egg probably wouldn't be too bad. Just kind of, you know, start with like a cup of flour, and then like, I don't know, start with half a cup of water. You know, incorporate it all and see if I need more water, and just kind of periodically, like Adam Ragusa did a video on that where he didn't measure anything. He just threw it all in a bowl and then did it by feel, which is probably how most people did it back in the ancient days. Bread machine, oh yeah, you mentioned that, yeah. You mentioned the bread machine. It's, you know, it's whatever. I have a KitchenAid, but, you know, I imagine it's a lot easier just to use my hands. That too. I actually watched a video last night on how to make, well, they called it a mead. It was more like, it was more in the realm of wine. But I don't, you know, I'd have to get a maybe I wouldn't have to get a special jar, but I definitely need to get one of those. I forgot what they called it, but it's basically like it's 2 chambers filled with water and it allows the gas to escape and so on and so forth. While also keeping out the, keeping out bugs and stuff like that. So, and they let it sit for like 3 weeks. It was Concord grape juice, honey, and then of course yeast. And then they just let it sit for like 3 weeks. And they called it a mead. They called it this one word, like pine something. But it was more like a wine. Because, Concord grape. But it got me interested in that channel, and I'll definitely be checking more out from that channel in the future. Because I'm curious. They do have a video dedicated specifically to creating standard mead. You'd buy a batch of mead from me. Well, I mean, I'd have to, actually get even just the 2 pieces, like the mason jar with the specialty top, and then the meter thing. I forgot what they called it. That allows the gases to escape. I mean, hell, you could just poke a hole in the top, and that allows those gases to escape. The problem is, of course, you don't want bugs getting into it. And it's not that I don't have bugs during the summer. Sometimes they get in. I don't know how they do, but they do. But for the most part, I think I'd be okay in my apartment if I just had a golden hive. I have no idea. Are you talking about the YouTube channel? Let me see. Hold on. I'll go to my history. I'll tell you the exact name. I watched it last night. Hold on. Oh, it's Az. City Steading Brews, or City Steeding Brews, I'm not sure, but it's basically Welch's juice, grape juice, honey, and then of course yeast, and then it just creates a mead. But it wasn't really a mead, it was more like a wine. But on their channel they have a standard mead video as well. And it really was as simple as just having a mason jar big enough for however much you want to make. And then if you don't live in a bug infested place, you just poke a hole in the top so the gases can escape. And that's it. And then you just let it sit to stew, essentially. So again, just like with the bread, it's just something that takes time. That's all it is. You want your own alcohol, you could do it yourself. Something got stuck in my throat. If you want... What the fuck, man? If you want alcohol, you can just do it yourself. That's it. Like, it just takes time. I have no idea what that was. So... But people always seem to think that they don't have time. It's like, no, you don't make time. There's a difference. You have all the time in the world. There is that old phrase. You have all the time in the world. But will you make time? That's what it comes down to. And I've had to make time for my workouts. I've had to make time. Oh, yes! Fuck yeah, dude. This is what I was talking about. The Porta Decumana. This is the one I was talking about. This is the best one because it's just fighting the ultimate weapon. That's it. Yes, we get cutscenes, but they're not terribly long, and it's just like all we're doing is fighting this thing. Oh, I'm so happy. Alright, so maybe it doesn't actually... mama. But then, you know, that's the thing about today's society. And like I mentioned before, it comes down to convenience. That's all it's ever been, is coming down to convenience. Like just today, I went to Walmart and I saw like a Pizza Stone, a 2-pack, which is weird, of Pizza Stones. But the problem is that I've picked up a real Pizza Stone. It's heavy. It has density to it. And I picked up this 2-pack of Pizza Stones and it didn't feel that heavy at all. And I'm like, is this even real Pizza Stone? Like, what the fuck is that? Is this shit even real? So, you know, I would have loved to buy it, but at the same time, I would rather buy a real Pizza Stone. And my first thought was, man, I could really cook a DiGiorno like really well on that. What about cooking a real pizza, like where I made the dough and the sauce and all this other shit? What if I did that? What if I made all this stuff rather than just getting a pre-bought frozen store pizza? DiGiorno is by far the best if you ever want to, you know, pick one of those, but still, I digress. I mean, I don't even need a Pizza Stone. I could just use the back of a baking sheet, which I also found out, which basically mimics a pizza steel. But I think the stone would give a better texture, personally, which is why I would like to get a stone. So if I'm going to get a Pizza Stone, it's going to be from my local Kitchen Gadgets store, which we do have one. It's called the Spoon and Whisk. I think it's Spoon and Whisk or Whisk and Spoon. And it's just nothing but kitchen gadgets and kitchen utensils and stuff like that. And they have like real Pizza Stones, and those things are fucking heavy. I would much rather cook on a Pizza Stone. And I actually, while I was there at Walmart, I was like, man, I don't know if the Lodge brand, which is the brand that I have for my cast iron pan, is the, like, I didn't know if they had a grill variant, a grill pan variant, and they absolutely do. For cheaper than the Good Cook brand, which was at my local Price Chopper. And I thought that maybe I could use my Price Chopper gift card to buy that thing, but now that I know it's not the Lodge brand, I'm like, well, I don't know, because I really like the Lodge brand that I've got. But they do make their own grill cast iron pan, which I'm happy about. So I'm definitely gonna grab that for like it was like $21, and the Good Cook brand was like $30. So, and it, in my opinion, it didn't feel as good quality as the Lodge brand. So glad to know that the Lodge brand is actually cheaper.
To the waist. Of course, it had to proc then, didn't it? And it proc again. And again. Man, that's procking a lot, actually. And now we sit here for like 8 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes.
Can his strength truly be so great?
Oh man, I love it.
It is the blessing of light.
I still have fat in my arm, but I love the definition. I love the definition that I've been able to actually obtain. I'm not looking to bulk up, I'm looking to maintain whatever muscle I have and build it back up. And I think I've built it up, now I'm just maintaining.
Of the crystal he bears.
It's so good. It feels good. It feels good to be... I personally think, although my fatigue has... And I attribute this to my age. I think my fatigue has definitely shown itself. I do feel like I'm stronger than I used to be, you know, when I was even younger. And I played football and lacrosse and stuff. I played sports when I was younger, and I was relatively strong. And I think in some aspects I was stronger back then. You know, doing 300-pound squats in high school. I don't think I could even come close to doing that these days, but I don't even remember what my bench was. I want to say maybe 200, but that's for only like 1 or 2 reps. All right, I'm gonna turn this all the way down. I'm tired of listening to these assholes while I'm trying to freaking speak. So, yeah, like, you know, obviously. Actually, let's take the headset off. Let's take the headset off. So, you know, needless to say, like, I do feel like I'm possibly stronger in most respects, mostly in stamina. And that's ultimately, I think, what I've been going for. Like I said, I'm not looking to bulk up. I only have 15-pound dumbbells. That's not a lot of weight, but when you actually, you know, work out properly, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, calisthenic workouts, body weight workout, essentially. Obviously, with 15-pound dumbbells, I'm not doing that, but it's not a lot of weight to build muscle. It's more of a usable weight or doable weight for me to just maintain the muscle that I have. So, that's more or less what I'm looking to do, is just to maintain whatever muscle I have and keep it active so I can lift things. And then someday when I hope, when I have children, I can lift them and I can be active with them and not feel like I'm such a weak old man. But I thought about it today, and that my father had me when he was 34. I'm 6 years behind. And I know that people say you shouldn't compare yourself to other people, but my dad is a pretty good barometer of where I should be at in my life. My dad had me at 34. And I remember, it's weird because I was only 6 years old when he had his 40th birthday. But I remember it, which is weird. I remember not perfectly, you know, every aspect of it, but I remember parts of it. And I find that interesting. But at the same time, I feel like I should be at that point. I should have a family by now, and I don't. And I understand everybody's life works out differently, but, you know, I feel like I should be at that point in my life. Oh well. We aren't all so fortunate.
Oh shit. That didn't really do much. That's unfortunate. I expected that thing to just completely shit on him, but it didn't do anything. Never mind. I didn't think I was going to be able to get that out. Oh well. Well, we've gone through. Oh, we hit 2,000. I probably went well over. So let's go and get the level 80 gear. Or, excuse me, level 90 gear. We'll start getting the level 90 gear now. That way we're ready when we change to level 90. I'm deciding on whether or not I want to actually, like, I'll probably just... Let's go to the kitchen. Let's make some food. Because I am... Parched is for drinking. What is the word for... Famished. There you go. See? I knew I'd think of it. Alright, whatever. God forbid I try to do multiple things at once and this thing just... fucking figure it out. I'll see you guys in the kitchen. Now, I'm gonna actually turn on some music. Turn on the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack. Oh, look at that. Something went wrong. Why? Why did something go wrong? What do you mean something went wrong? Jesus Christ, dude. Even Spotify is fucking up. At least it came up with 15 right away. Okay. So I don't know if that can be heard. Put this over here. I guess I'll just use my phone for chat. Luckily, I've already turned on my phone, so a little dark.
But that is why I have this. I have my big light. There. See? Easy. I'll clean this pan. It's fully thawed now. I mean, normally I would just use the camera's microphone, but it's because the last time I used this headset, it was Robotronic, from what I understood, which is not what I want. Now, one thing I'm trying to avoid, especially as of late, is bread, pasta, rice, carbs that are more fattening than carbs from, like, I don't know, raisins or something. Let me get... Oh, I forgot to change over to just entertainment. People are going to come in. Well, I don't think anybody's going to come in, but I don't want people thinking that I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14. Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I do actually want to... I want to put on some nostalgic radio because it's copyright free and it always sounds good, man. It always puts a smile on my face. I think I'm probably just going to do that from now on, though. While I'm in the kitchen, put on some nostalgic radio. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's crazy what people have been able to do with AI. This is probably one of the best uses of it. It's a very late. Sorry, I saw a pair of tits. Alright, I'm just going to... Can I just do chat or no? All messages. I guess I can't just do chat like Twitch has, which is unfortunate because I would prefer that, but alright, so we got some eggs with this. Eggs, butter. I don't really have anything else. I suppose I could have... Well, no, I don't want to... The bacon's for tomorrow. The only thing I can think of is I want to use these potatoes for my prepping. Some of them are actually starting to go bad, unfortunately. I'm always just really bad at that, is using potatoes in a reasonable amount of time. Some of them are a little bit on the squishy side, though, so you got to be careful. You don't want to use those. Once they start getting really squishy, then they're actually going bad. But I want to make sure I have enough for mashed potatoes for my prep. So, sadly, I'm going to have to say no-go to that. Like I said, I could do rice, but I don't want to do rice. As far as the broccoli, I got 2 bags of this for my meal prep, but I've got carrots in there too, and I'm going to alternate between the two. You know, broccoli one day, carrots the next day, so on and so forth. So I think I should be okay to use this. And we're going to do, I was going to say the old school thing, but not really old school. It's just, we're going to do the thing where we're going to boil it. I'll wait. Because you gotta wait till the water boils on this. Like I had a pretty late, I wouldn't say it was a late dinner. I just ate, there were 2 pork chops that I had thawed out, and they were sitting there for like almost an entire week. Luckily they didn't go bad, but I ate those pretty late last night and I didn't feel too terrible, so, which is good to know. I think I'll just do 3 eggs. I don't want to overdo it. Damn it. I didn't crack enough. Still can't get that right. Sadly, one of the eggs broke. You know what? It wouldn't be bad to have this going. Sometimes these pork chops come with pretty thick layers of fat on the side, and And sometimes I like using that as a means to, well, it is a means for lubrication in the pan, but there's not enough on this, so it is what it is. This music, of course, just reminds me so much of Fallout, and I heard that the second season's not that great, but I mean, it's again, it's all subjective. But, you know, I'm inclined to believe individual YouTubers as opposed to, like, main critics. Mainstream critics are not to be trusted. Period. Like, that's just bottom line. They're not to be trusted. Here's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna seem very strange, but I'm gonna put some butter in the boiling water. Normally you do that with rice or whatever, but I'm gonna do it with the broccoli. It might add some depth, I don't know. It'd be nice if YouTube added like a chat only variant or maybe an audio only variant for the streams like Twitch did, so that way I can just look at the chat. I don't need to have the video going, burning through my battery. But to be fair, this camera's fully charged, so I'll just plug in my phone, and then if that one tends to die out, then, well, I'll just plug it back in. I was trying to avoid. I didn't want to splash anything. Ba-da. Got some Worcestershire sauce. I still need this. I'm just gonna sear the edges and stuff like that, and then just let it kind of sit in the pan. I was thinking of maybe making a cheese sauce, but then again, I remembered I don't have any heavy cream. So, just sprinkle some Parmesan Romano over the top of the broccoli. A little extra flavor. Trying to get a small piece. Perfect. Ah, the splashes burn. It fell over. Good thing it didn't splash too much. Okay, that's fine. Now just let it sit. Now we just let it sit. Remember that even pork, you can still have some pink with pork, because pork and beef are relatively similar in the fact that the bacteria is on the surface, not in the middle. So you can still have pink pork. Hell, you could even still have a little bit of pink in the chicken. I've had, and I'm talking a little bit. With chicken, it has to be a little bit. It can't be a lot, because, well, but a little bit of pink in the chicken, not such a bad thing. It won't kill you. I'm living proof. But pork and beef are relatively the same, whereas where the bacteria is on the surface of the meat, not in the middle. I think that has something to do with the way that they're fed, and of course the difference of the meat compared to chicken. It's tougher, it's denser, that sort of thing. Could be right, could be very wrong. I'm not a, expert. We'll let that rest, and we'll get the eggs going. this top really gonna be this much of a pain in the ass? No wonder that some of this shit was falling out. They didn't even tie it down right, essentially. And if you're wondering why I'm only running it under hot water, this water gets extremely hot. And I don't know if my landlord did that knowingly or unknowingly, but I don't have a dishwasher, so I imagine he did it on purpose because he knows there's no. Ow! Chill. Because he knows that there's. I imagine he did it knowingly that there is no dishwasher, so. That should be good. So he'd have to make it as hot as possible for the most part. Ow. Oh, I need the salt for the broccoli. Thanks. What a mess. Whoever screwed that on. Fucking moron. These are gonna be some buttery ass freaking eggs, that's for sure. They're not really wanting to come apart here. There we go. Hope you guys can hear me. I try to balance the audio as much as possible. I do love butter. Let me tell you what. Speaking of butter, this knife cuts through this pork chop like butter, that's for sure. It's cooked all the way through, although I would have preferred a little bit more pink. I'm not going to complain as long as it's relatively juicy and tasty. I don't care. Pork chop is not hard to cook, it's just hard to... Unlike beef, it's hard to actually, like, cook or to get perfect in terms of... you know, if you want, like, medium rare or something like that. Remember, always be careful with your knives. Always treat them with respect, just like fire. I don't know why I have this knife. I don't need it if I'm cutting everything up. There's the pork chop. This is reversed for some reason. I don't understand that. Why is this reverse? Whatever. It's pretty. I'm gonna try it. It's really good. very, very late meal. I don't normally eat this late, but I've literally eaten nothing all day, so I think you guys can forgive me for that one. Remember, less is more. That rest time was very much needed. Got here, look at all this juice. Why is this reversed? This is weird. That's weird. But you can see beautiful plate. There's all that juice, and that was because I let it rest. And yes, it's out on the board and everything, but that's actually not a terrible thing. It's not a terrible thing. We finished the pork. With a little Worcestershire sauce. Now it's done. But you're probably thinking, but Adam, all that flavor. I don't know what to tell you, man. It just kind of came out of the freaking pork chop. And it just went onto the board. That's how things work. It is what it is. We lose some flavor to gain some flavor. I hope you guys appreciate all the secrets I'm showing you. All the cooking secrets. I love broccoli. I really do. Okay. Yeah. Now, some people might tenderize the pork chop before they cook it. I've yet to do that. I've been tenderizing my chicken breast before I do that, which makes a big difference for sure. But pork chops, as you can see, they don't take very much to cook. And if you cook it in just the right amount of time, they can still be pretty tender without any tenderizing. And of course, butter makes all the difference, man. Please, for the love of God, use butter. Especially after a day like today, I need as much protein as I can get. Oh man, it's so it's amazing what a little bit of salt and a little bit of Parmesan can do to elevate eggs. Well, salt and pepper, of course. The Worcestershire adds a little bit of elevation to it. Just a little bit. It adds that extra layer. You know, obviously don't douse it in Worcestershire, but just a handful of drops does wonders. Obviously, I'm going to eat the whole bag of broccoli. Because obviously broccoli has calories in it, but they're not. They're just mostly there to make you full. I love cooking. That's, of course, one other thing that I want to find out when I inevitably finally go to get blood work done is what minerals I'm missing. What vitamins. Or, you know, like what, maybe not missing, but what vitamins and minerals am I deficient in? By the way, I'm very conscious about how fast I eat. It always reminds me of those videos on YouTube, usually shorts, of girlfriends trying to keep up with their boyfriend's eating habits. And they damn near choke trying to keep up with them. Guys, I mean, it's not like we don't eat to enjoy. But I think for the most time, we eat for nourishment. We don't eat for enjoyment. Though again, I love eating for enjoyment. But I just want this food in my belly. And it's actually really bad for you to eat as fast as I am. Because you're supposed to chew it down to like basically mush before you swallow it. So that's why it's easier for your digestive system to digest it. But I'm fairly certain I'm not alone in the fact that most guys don't do that. We chew it to a point where it's possible to swallow it, and then we just swallow it. Even though I love the taste. I love the taste of this. It's amazing. I kind of just want to eat it and get it in my stomach. And that does present some digestive problems. But I just deal with those and move on. I'm sure if I had a girlfriend and she wanted to do one of those videos, which I'm gonna be honest, either the boyfriends are really stupid or it's all staged. But how you don't notice a camera set up right next to you while you're eating, I don't know. I don't know how you don't notice that. Maybe the girlfriends or wives have like convinced them that they're shooting for like B-roll or something like that. I don't know. And instead, it's more like a challenge video where they try to keep up with their boyfriend's or husband's eating pace. Which I personally think, unless the woman is like a competitive eater, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it's possible for most women to keep up with the eating pace of men. Just because I think it comes from a place of, all right, well, I'm just going to eat this as quickly as I can so I can get on to the next thing of my day. Whereas women tend to eat to enjoy, which is fine. Obviously, I know that they have to eat for sustenance as well, but I do think that most women probably like to sit down and enjoy their food, which is why they take so long to eat it or consume it. Whereas men, you know, we're built to consume and then move on to the next activity. We're doing this purely out of the fact that we need the nutrition. And this is just, of course, me assuming not every man is different, but me assuming, being a man of almost 40 years, that most guys just want to they want to get the food in their stomach, enjoy the flavor that it has for the time being, and then that's it. Be done with it and move, so that way they can get back to doing whatever it is they want to do, which is, these days it's video games or other projects or whatever. Obviously in my case, this is extremely late for me to eat something. Like, way late. This is beyond late at this point. I don't normally eat this late at all. But, I hadn't eaten anything, literally, of substance all day. Like I said, I had coffee, orange juice, yogurt, and coffee, orange juice, yogurt, and oatmeal. And that's it. Then there's this. And then there was this. But now, I didn't buy this for nothing. Stewart's ice cream. I said, fuck it. I can deal with a pint. Right? Yeah, it's a pint. It's one of their limited edition flavors. Peanut butter pie. Give myself a spin. Normally peanut butter doesn't sit right with me, mostly because it just sits in my stomach like pure peanut butter does. Peanut butter flavored stuff tends to do that as well, but this is something else I really want to try making myself, is ice cream. Wow. So fuck, that's good. So it's peanut butter flavored ice cream with a chocolate cookie crumble or crumb swirl and peanut butter cups. If you're ever in New York, stop by Stewart's. I'm not paid, by the way, just so it's out there. Obviously, I'm paid. A paid sponsorship with 2 viewers, please. By the way, it's not a slight against you who's hanging out with me. I'm just saying they're not going to sponsor somebody with such a low viewer count. So obviously, I'm not paid. But I don't mind giving shout outs to where they're due. If you're ever in New York, stop by Stewart's shops. They make the best ice cream in the area. And yes, that's better than Friendly's. I don't know if Friendly's exists anywhere else in the United States, but that is also a brand in New York, or just a brand in general, that makes ice cream. And for the longest time, they were like pinnacle of ice cream for me. They were what I knew ice cream to be. And then I had Stewart's and I said, you know what? Fuck every other ice cream. It is literally the best ice cream ever in the area. best solid ice cream, the best soft ice cream in this area in Albany, New York, in the county of Albany, Fervor Ice Cream. Stewart's, with a T at the end, TS, not DS. Stewart's. Stewart's Shops. They honestly, most of their in-house stuff, ice cream, donuts, they make their own donuts, their iced coffee, their regular hot coffee, top tier. Top tier. It's really good. Okay. Fuck, that's good. Okay. I think I'll end the stream there. This was just an impromptu stream, of course. I'm gonna get ready to end it. But I want to thank everybody for joining me this evening. I appreciate your time and attention as always. It was an impromptu stream, I know. Tomorrow, I definitely want to try and do a regular, well, not a regular stream, but I want to do a stream where we try and fix that joystick of mine and see if we can at least fix it so that it can be used as a backup for when these sticks we just replaced inevitably go out. But I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. Just be aware that a stream should happen tomorrow. And hopefully you guys will be there to maybe learn a thing or two about how to fix these joysticks. I know there's tons of YouTube videos all over the internet showing you how to fix these things, but nobody's really showing you how to fix the replaceable joysticks for the DualSense Edge. Although, to be fair, it's not very different. It's just in its own contained thing. So it's pretty much the same way that you fix a DualSense or a DualShock 4. It's just in its own self-contained unit. So hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow for that, if you're at all interested. And maybe you'll learn a thing or two about saving yourself some money on fixing your own controllers. But until then, I'm Adam Wolf, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.